a lot of things can go wrong. And a successful cruise, well, a successful cruise never gets 100% of all the data. Sometimes just 50% is a huge success.
You have difficult weather often, you can be working very long hours. It's sort of satisfying, but it's also very challenging.
Because when you're offshore, you're cut off.
If a connector is not secured properly, it may allow water inside the instrument, and then it's flooded.
Anything goes wrong, the instrument might not come back. So it's a bit stressful, but it's also, there's lots of adrenaline going on, so it's very exciting type of work.
The main objective is to look at seismicity in the St. Lawrence, and at the same time we hope to be able to track some of the whales that are feeding and migrating in that area and study how they interact with ships that are in transit through the St. Lawrence.
We are, in essence, going to do an ultrasound of this failed rift, but not using artificial sources that can disturb marine life, but actually using marine life to do that ultrasound of the subsurface.
The biggest time commitment that we have with any cruise is in the planning phase, figuring out all of the logistics for what dates we can actually sail, what boat we're going to use, figuring out how to get our equipment from our facility to the boat, and making sure that we have everything we might need.
We connect up what we call a deck unit. We can communicate to the computer on board the OBS. We need to check all the connectors, make sure they're greased and sealed properly. There are no abnormalities in any of the sensors or anything. We need to set the clock in the instruments. And then when it comes time to deploy, we configure exactly what we want to record, deploy the machine, and then deploy it overboard.
For the earthquakes, we simply leave the instruments 8 months and listen to all the natural sounds that will come when the actual faults slip a bit, which is really how the earthquake is generated. And what our goal is to figure out better the structure in this part of the St. Lawrence Seaway, because it is capable of generating significant earthquakes up to some magnitude 6 to 7, which represent significant hazard to the coastal communities in that area of Quebec.
We get to go offshore at least a few times a year, which, I mean, it's hectic for sure, but actually being out there is really nice. Yeah, let alone the fact that you get to be out on the ocean for days or weeks at a time.
Well, I think obviously the first time you deploy instruments, then you get them back. That's a great positive, and when you see that some of the data quality is fairly good, that's a huge relief.
I love working in teams, and I always choose to work with people that actually also I feel like are friends, because that's just incredibly enjoyable for me. And I love the adrenaline kick, the stress, particularly with doing this type of field work where so many things can go wrong. And the reality of it, because we all these days do modeling and things on computers, but that's a bit of an imaginary world relative to this real world, which people seem to like less and less, where we collect real data from the real world. I love that.
I'm excited to see what's coming in terms of groundbreaking research and things that come out of the work that we do. But we are still very much in the beginning phases of this. So we'll get there.